everyone, this is Amy Sine from Amy Sine Photography. I just wanted to go over doing raw editing through Bridge. So this is the picture I'm going to use today. I'm going to right click on it and open in Camera Raw. So as you can see, this photo is a bit dark. You can see up here on the histogram it's dark. Today I'm going to go over just this first section of Raw Editor. So one of the parts that we have is the temperature balance and the tint. So whenever I did this, I actually got a custom reading using a gray card. If you don't have one, it's a really good idea to get one so that you can make sure that whenever you're in the session, you take the custom setting and then you don't have to worry about it whenever you bring it into Editor. So whenever you come into Editor, you're going to adjust the exposure. So that basically, as you can see, just makes it lighter or darker. So that basically depends on what your style is. I like it to be pretty even, so I'm going to leave it up just a little bit. As you can see, it's at 0.50, and you can go all the way up to 5. But the further up you go, the more noise you're going to get and more grain you're going to get in your image. So again, I'm going to go down to 50 or somewhere around there. And the next thing is your contrast. If you're in photography, of course, you understand what this does. So less contrast, more contrast. So I think this should be good around, I want to say 15%. Okay, so your highlight, you can go up on your highlight, which of course brings more light to her face, but doesn't bring too much light to the background, which is something that I do want. So I can bring this up. As you can see, it gives her a nice glow to her face. And then you have shadows, which of course is going to be background, and you can see where it's changing her dress. I actually want the shadows to be up just a little bit so that we can see a little bit more detail in her dress. The white balance, it can bring some more light into her face. So we can adjust that and then bring down the highlight some if we want. And then the black are just going to basically do almost the same thing as the shadows, except for it kind of affects different areas. So you can see as this goes up, it's going to lighten all the dark areas in the photo, or you can darken all the dark areas in the photo. So I'll put this at 0, and I'll put the shadows at 0, and I'll show you the difference. So this is with shadows at 0. Now this is with shadows up. This is with the blacks at 0. Now we're going to bring it up. You can see where it takes out the dark tones in the hair, her dress, background. Basically everything is going to be lightened up. So then you can also work with your shadows past that and bring it down. This is especially nice if you didn't use a reflector on the front of the face, so then you have that darkened area there. Bringing up the blacks will help to eliminate some of that darker area, and where the shadows can bring down some of that as well. Now your clarity, of course, that's going to be making it sharper, kind of like the HDR type of look, which of course we don't want with her. Usually I just leave this at 0. Your vibrance is going to, of course, give more color. It's just going to enhance the color you have. Usually with portraits, I leave this alone. Now if I'm outdoors, I might bump it up to like 8 or 10, but generally I just leave that alone and adjust it in Photoshop later. The saturation also brings in more color into the image. And this I also generally leave at 0 whenever I'm editing in RAW. And if I want to add any of that, I will go back and I will add that later on whenever I'm in Photoshop. So as you can see, all these different settings are going to do, of course, different things. And depending on the way you want your picture to show up, you can play with those to see what style you like. This is just how I would edit the photo. So just get into Raw Editor and then work with what you have and see what you like. Basically, the major thing is that you do want to shoot in RAW, because shooting in a RAW allows you to be able to adjust these levels without damaging the file. Because if you use JPEG and you use these different, use Raw Editor, it's going to damage the file and it's going to make it smaller, and it's going to take away from the quality of the file. So definitely want to shoot in RAW. The next time when we come back, I'm going to go over a few of the other settings. I'll go over curves, and I may go over a couple of the other color settings. So I'll talk to you next week. Thank you. Have a great day.